Hi, and I've taken you outdoors today. I don't know if you can see in the distance there, but actually what you're looking at are the base of the Pyrenees, which at this time of the year are plenty of snow, which unfortunately I haven't had the chance to visit too often so far in this season, but I will definitely get there. But I want to share with you something that I read recently, and it was about Google's search and the really intense search that they undertook in the last couple of years to find the perfect team, or what made up the perfect team. Now, obviously, that's a quest because you will never actually get a perfect team simply because a team is made up of people who are by definition imperfect. But it was interesting in terms of the research they did. But before I tell you a little bit about that, and want to tell you a connected story, because a company that I've been working with for the last period of time, where I've been working with the senior team, and I was having a conversation with the CEO very recently. And when we started the work, one of the observations that I made to him was that the team worked very, very much in silos. And he said to me, he said, when he said that to me at the time, I really wasn't sure whether I agreed with you or not because I didn't think that was true. And when you talk about working in silos, that obviously is a very negative connotation, and nobody will ever sign up or espouse to having a team working in silos, but it does happen. But over the course of the work we've done for the last number of months with them, he came to realize that in fact actually did work in silos, and to a large extent, and this is what he said to me was interesting. He said, the way I managed them actually compounded that situation because I managed them one on one. I had meetings one on one with them about their tasks and their objectives. Now, nothing wrong with that. You do that anyway. But he said, then when we got together as a group, all we talked about was the tasks and the objectives. We never ever spoke about how we were working as a team. And he said, I really assumed that if I spent the time working with them one on one, and then we got together to work collectively on the objectives, that we create a team. And of course, he realized that that isn't the case. Which brings me back to the research that Google did, because when they did that detailed research, when they boiled it down, what they discovered was that the difference between the high-performing teams and the underperforming teams were that the high-performing teams had an agreed way and a behavior. They had agreed norms of how they would work together and how they would relate to each other, and that built that level of trust that enabled them to really go forward and be effective as teams. So, what I'm asking you to think about today is, how are you managing your teams? Are you managing in a way that actually is compounding the silo? Or are you having discussions about how you're working, what behavior you want to have from each other, what behavior you want to have with each other, and what relationships you're building up? And are you creating that team where there's trust? Because if you're not doing that, you are not going to end up with a high performance team, no matter how talented they are individually. So that's my thought for you for this week to reflect upon, and to really for you to understand how you are managing and leading your team.